All right, I want to talk. I want to talk a little bit about an issue that's become increasingly an increasingly sore spot for me over the past several months, and that is military spending. And that's is kind of coming immediately after Trump gave a speech to Congress saying how he wants to do a historic increase in military spending by adding an additional $54 billion to our military budget. Which, by the way, our military budget is already about $600 billion. I'll say that again. $600 billion. Are you shitting me? You realize how much money that is? The U.S. spends more on its military than something like the next 5 or 10 countries combined. The next largest spender as far as the military goes is China in the world, and their budget is around $200 billion. Ours is 6, and our military is just wasting away and needs more money. Why? I mean, that's what I don't get with it. How is this still working on people? And I don't know, maybe it will stop being an effective motivator, because that seems to be the thing. We need more. We need our military's in trouble. We need more money to give them more money. Okay, sure. $54 billion. Go for it. Add that to the $600 million price tag that we're already paying. And when you look at our military versus the rest of the world, I mean, like for instance, our Navy, that's a big one. The outward facing, kind of the face of our military might and all that, is a lot of times is historically been based on the country's Navy. We have half of the world's aircraft carriers. Seriously, in the world, there are about 20 aircraft carriers in existence. The U.S. operates 10 of them. And every single one of them, not just Now, I'm being generous with the definition of aircraft carrier. Because if you look at, say, the British or the Russian, the Russian Navy, the fucking Russian Navy. Oh my god, the Russians. Those Russians have one aircraft carrier, one diesel-powered aircraft carrier. We have 10 nuclear-powered supercarriers, and we're building more. That's the thing, we're building more. I think there's 3 more currently either in the process of being built or scheduled to be built. China has one, which they bought off of Russia. The only other nation in the world that even has a nuclear aircraft carrier is the French, and they've got one. So the idea that somehow our military is falling behind and just can't keep up is bullshit. If there's any troubles with our military that $600 billion can't cover, maybe it's because we're still in Iraq and Afghanistan. We're still we're conducting military interventions in a total of 7 countries. There's Iraq, Afghanistan, there's Pakistan, Libya, Yemen, a couple others, I forget. It's the thing. It's a long list. Maybe that's why. If there's any troubles, finding, money for men and materials, maybe it's because we're operating everywhere at once. Anyway, and it absolutely boggles the mind that they can still get away, our government can still get away with spending $600 billion of our money. Let's remember that. The money the government's spending didn't come out of thin air. It's our money. It's what we pay as taxpayers. That's our tax dollars. And our tax dollars are not going to us. We pay taxes for government services, for Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, infrastructure, to ensure that we have clean water to drink and food that's not poisonous. That's what we pay taxes for. And of all the money that we pay the government as taxpayers every year, $600 billion of it is basically being poured down a black hole that is our military. And going to what? It's going to make bombs and overpriced aircraft. I mean, what are they going to do? What are they doing with, it's going to kill people. That's what it's going into. You think of how many, $600 billion, what that could be put into here. Not even this whole amount, because, we have to maintain a military of sorts, of course, to defend ourselves, so on and so forth. So let's not even mess with the whole $600 billion. Let's just talk about the $54 billion increase that Donald Trump wants to make. Think of the good that could be done for the people of the United States with $54 billion. And to put that in perspective, how much money that is, on average, the average working household brings in around a little under $2 million during their entire life. So all the money that you make from the time you're born to the time you die is less than around $2 million, maybe less. This is $54 billion. How much could be done with that money? How many more kids could get a good education or have nutritious meals at school? How many more people could have access to health care? How many more roads and bridges could be repaired and built? For, how much could be invested in green energy, in renewable energy with that $54 billion of our money? But no, they're just going to take it and just pour it down that sucking black hole, that spinning vortex money pit of our, has become our military. And they're going to, I don't know, maybe they decided that the bombs that they're going to be building need some gold leaf on them. Maybe olive drab was just so last year. Trump loves gold. Maybe he wants to fucking gold plate the damn bombs. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. That'll be the next thing. Oh, he when he visits an aircraft carrier with his, freaking codpiece on, just like the last Republican we had in office, they'll have to I want gold-plated bombs. I want these things to sparkle in the sun. They're America. It's American power. I want it to be gold. Seriously, he's got a fetish for gold. I bet his underwear are gold. Gold silk or something. But anyway. And they spend so much money on all this stuff. I can understand in some cases. If you need to replace hardware, you need to pay troops, of course, you need to equip them. But the things they spend it on, too, are here's one. An area, and this is one in particular that's really gotten on my nerves last number of months, something like that. And that is the Joint Strike Fighter, the F-35. It's a program that's supposed to be Like, it was started in the 90s. It started to form in, like, 2000. It was, like, the final contract, I think, was granted in, like, 2001 for a fighter jet or family of fighter jets that's supposed to replace everything that's currently in use with our military. And it was initially, I remember this because I remember watching a documentary about the Joint Strike Fighter on Nova when I was a kid. So, yeah, like, this has been over a decade or more since Nova made a fucking documentary about it. And what was talked about there is that, it's a big international collaboration, and it's going to save on costs because the airplanes that we are purchasing cost too much money. And it's going to save our armed forces money, save taxpayer dollars and still be able to equip them with aircraft. Well, see, that was a wonderful thought, but the thing is, that program quickly spun wildly out of control. And, I'm not blaming Trump for it, of course. He just got here. He's going to fuck things up plenty. But this is something that lies squarely on part of the Clinton administration, Bush Jr., and Obama. But, alright, this program is supposed to replace all these aircraft are 2 aircraft for the Air Force are supposed to be replaced, the main aircraft for the Navy, and the main one that the Marines use, the Harrier, are all supposed to be replaced by this one aircraft, or different models of this one aircraft, okay? It has yet to do that, for one thing. After 17 years since the final contract was awarded, they're still not replacing aircraft in the field. But on top of that, Trump also at his speech touted about how he had a little powwow with Lockheed Martin and got those costs down because he makes good deals. He saved us a bigly amount of money on that deal. Kind of. Because these aircraft, and this is the reduced price, mind you, and also this is, by the way, this is not a guarantee for all orders in the future. This is just for evidently the current batch that are going to be produced. So he was bragging about saving some huge amount, a $700 million savings savings over the last batch of aircraft that are delivered, or the current set of them, 90 airplanes. Now the final pricing on all 3, the base model that the Air Force gets, is $94.6 million. Again, that's $94.6 million worth of taxpayer money that could be going to build a new school or a new road or a new bridge or, paying for healthcare, going to one aircraft. Now here's the thing, as far as how much this setup is, these things are going to cost us. Alright, the Air Force, there's 3 versions, one for the Air Force, one for the Marines, and one for the Navy. The cheapest one is the Air Force's version, which will cost $94.6 million. Now here's the thing, per plane. Here's the thing. The 2 models of aircraft that is replacing cost about $18 million apiece. So we will be paying almost, the Air Force could purchase, I think, almost 5 aircraft of the current ones in use for the price of one of these. And it doesn't get much better. The aircraft the Navy currently uses is pretty pricey. It's something like $67.2 million a piece. The Navy's version of the F-35, $121 million. Literally twice the price. Like almost exactly twice the price. You could buy 2 of the F-18 Hornet or something like that the Navy uses for the price of one of these. The cost for the Marine Corps version is $122 million. The aircraft they currently use, the Harrier, costs $23 million. So yeah, you could buy 4 and have some change left. You could almost buy 5 for the cost of 1. And okay, sure, yeah, it's military needs it. Let's write the check. Let's spend more money. So let's spend more taxpayer dollars on these aircraft that cost between 2 to 5 times as much as the aircraft they're fucking replacing. And that, now let's just remind you, that is just the sticker price for this current batch. That doesn't mean that's what they're going to cost in the future, not to mention the hundreds of billions of dollars that worth of our taxpayer dollars that the government has poured into this project over the last couple of decades. And they want to increase it even more. And it's just, I don't know, to me it's sickening. It really is disgusting that you look at situations like this, and they will happily do it, and at the same time they're pouring all this money away. They're screaming about needing more and how our military is in shambles and absolutely just run down and falling apart. We have to pour even more money into it. But then you turn around and they won't part with a few million to take care of, the friggin' lead in the drinking water in Flint, Michigan. Or environmental catastrophes that are going on in other areas, like East Chicago, Illinois, has an area where there are like lead foundries that were decommissioned, and they just built friggin' housing, like subdivisions over top of it, and never cleaned up a damn thing. And now that has to be cleaned up. We have, like I said, Flint, Michigan. We have people in America, in the United States of America, who can't drink their freaking tap water because of lead. And they haven't been able to for years. Years. They haven't, it's been in there and it's been a problem. And the government can't part with enough money, can't manage to find the funds to fix the problem. But they can pour $600 billion a year down a pit, basically, and just add more to it. They can afford $120 million per aircraft for a fighter jet, but they can't afford, 10 million, 20 million, so that people in an American city can have safe drinking water. And that is what sickens me. That is disgusting. Alright, well, that's... If you're still here, thank you for sticking with me through this, 19 and a half minute long rant about military spending. See if I can go in a little more in depth and maybe some shorter sequences later on to kind of get more in depth. Anyway, I'm done. That's it. I'm going to shut up now. Any new followers I've acquired, thank you for subscribing. Subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. And by all means, like, dislike, comment. share this video, and relevant links will be in the description below. See you next time.